Sega hit with wave of layoffs that impact several studios. This came out 24 hours after that whole union thing went down with Sega. Sega!
Don't worry, we'll handle this news with the utmost maturity.
Well, you gotta get them out now before you can't.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. Look at the smile on his face. He's so happy. It was revealed today that Sega is preparing to make mass layoffs.
How many people?
That will impact as many as 240 employees at the range of studios. Now, I know this is actually kind of like good for you, Naz, because this is kind of draining the swamp. But what do we have here? More industry layoffs. It's almost like there's too many fucking idiots in this bloated ass industry charging too much for their games that are too expensive to make that no one fucking likes. At the top of the table sits the likes of Sega Europe, where did it go? Creative Assembly!
Fuck them.
And Hardlight. This news comes as confirmation is handed down that Relic Entertainment, known primarily for Company of Heroes, has secured an external investor and will become an independent red studio, moving out of the umbrella of Sega's umbrella. Get fucking red!
All right, I like that. I like Company of Heroes is a decent series.
So thanks to IGN, the world has seen an email sent to its employees by Sega by Jurgen Post as part of the Jurgen leadership at Sega Europe. Nazma, would you be so kind?
I want to sincerely apologize for the worry and understandable distress this news will cause, particularly for those directly affected. These decisions have been incredibly tough to make, and they follow meticulous consideration and deliberation with leadership teams across the business. Change is necessary to secure the future of our games business and to ensure that we are well placed to deliver the best possible experiences to our players going forward. We need to streamline, focus on what we are good at, and position ourselves as best as we can for the road ahead. In order to do that, we need to respond to the changing economic landscape and the challenges we're facing in the way to develop our products and bring them to the market. Okay, so that's obviously right. Corporate jargon. That's bullshit.
Bullshittery.
Here's the major point: the largest investment of something like 100 million, maybe more, was placed into the hands of Creative Assembly to make the Hyenas game. And Creative Assembly fucked it up. They fucked it up completely. To the point where they got to an alpha and they never even released the game. They cancelled it. Sega came in and went, "What the fuck is this?" And they cancelled it. That's their largest investment in the game ever. That's gonna fuck them up royally on the business side of things. So I think Hyenas is the catalyst as to why this is happening.
Oh, well, we got a little bit more.
It's the same message that has been relayed by countless developers, publishers, and all manner of industry organizations over the last year or so. Since the start of 2023, almost 20,000 industry workers have been laid off around the world for a multitude of reasons, but most of them all boil down to a need to streamline operations. What have we been saying? Sega has promised to support any employees impacted by these layoffs, and that severance packages, career support options, and guidance services will be made available. No, they're not. They're not for the Creative Assembly. They've been leaking massively to YouTuber Voland, and they're shit out of luck. They're just getting their letter and they're like, bye-bye. Post said, "I fully appreciate this means we are moving into a very unsettled phase, and I ask that we look after each other throughout this difficult time." Other Sega studios and subsidiaries outside of Sega Europe, Hardlight, and Creative Assembly weren't mentioned in the most recent update.
But what's his name was fired, or has removed it from
Bartholomew. Yeah. So one of the guys
character from Game of Thrones.
One of the guys that deserved to be fucking canned was canned, so that's a good thing.
There you go. Hey, so what? Just on the Creative Assembly aside, where do you think they go from here, or who the fuck knows? At this
they're making a 40k game. It's all but confirmed. They haven't made any statements yet, but you heard it here first. They're making a 40k game because the emails that were leaked to Voland mentioned a guy involved in Project Juno. And Voland went digging and asking people. And he's like, what is this Project Juno? And they eventually were just like, it's 40k. Because Warhammer Fantasy Total War was their bestseller. It's not a good game, but obviously Warhammer fans will just buy whatever's given in front of them.
Cool. Well, there you go. A little insider exclusive.